Page 30 of your journal, you are going to title this Chemical Formulas and Reactivity. It's because these elements are making bonds that we get, molecules or compounds, and we, like you did in the warm-up, we write chemical formulas to show these bonds. So we're gonna show two different examples of how some elements react together to make some very common things that you know, some compounds that you know. One of the compounds you know very well, we can't live without, is, what is this?
Water.
Good. Water. You guys know water. Now, we get water because oxygen bonds with how many hydrogens? Two. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take oxygen, and if you look at the periodic table, what would we look at to tell how many protons there are? Good, the atomic number. So oxygen has 8 positively charged particles called, thank you, protons. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we have 8 positively charged particles, how many negatively charged particles do we need? We need 8. How many will fit in the first energy level?
2.
Okay, good, 2. And then we're going to draw a second energy level. And we learned last unit that oxygen is going to be on which energy level then? If it has, oxygen is going to be on which period? Do y'all remember?
2.
Okay, good, 2. Because it does have 2 energy levels. So we're going to do, we have 6 out here. So 2, 4, 6 valence electrons. How many more valence electrons does oxygen need to have a full outer shell? Very good, it needs 2 more. So we're going to draw a space for the 2 it needs. Well, in nature, oxygen does become perfect by bonding with hydrogen. So we're going to take a hydrogen atom. How many protons does hydrogen have? 1. And it's going to need 1 electron. It's got it, right? Do you see what happens here? This squeezes in to fill that space. That's right. And then we're going to add 1 more. So this is hydrogen. It's 1 electron is going to squeeze in right there, right? So hydrogen, each of these hydrogens is going to have a full outer shell and oxygen. So we have elements that will bond together to become more like the noble gases. What's the adjective we know about the noble gases? Oh, yeah, stable, which means they will or won't react. Right, they will not ever react. All right, so you guys know water, right? All right, there's another one that we really like.
Salt.
How did you know that? Yes, this is table salt. It's called sodium chloride. We have table salt.
If you put salt in boiling water.
All right. How many many protons does sodium have?
That's a good question.
Sodium's a metal, so it's going to be over on the left. Y'all checking out your periodic table? Sodium has 11. Okay, thank you. Sodium has 11 protons. So we're going to need 11 negatives, 11 electrons. So let's do the first energy level. Okay, sodium is in group 1. What period is sodium on? Can anybody look at their periodic table?
Oh, 3.
Period 3. Okay. So then when I go to make a Bohr model, I'll know how big or little to make my circles. So I know that y'all just said it's on period 3, so I'm going to go ahead and do 3 energy levels. And I don't make my circles too big. Okay, so we have 2 electrons here. We need 8 on the next energy level. And then it's in group 1, so it should have 1 valence electron. Did we do the right number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 11. Okay, how many electrons does sodium need to have a full outer shell?
8.
It needs 8. It's lacking 7. So the likelihood of sodium getting 7 electrons is unlikely, right? So what nature does is sodium, actually chlorine will probably find sodium, they'll find each other. We're gonna get chlorine. And chlorine has, can y'all double check me? I think it's got 17. Okay, awesome. Chlorine has 17 protons in its nucleus. All right, what period is chlorine on?
3.
3? So it's also gonna have 1, 2. So it's gonna have 3 energy levels. And how many electrons will fit in here? 2. How many will fit out here? Or wait, oops, I wrote that in the wrong place. 2, 8. And then chlorine's in group 17 or 7A. So we know chlorine is gonna have 7 valence electrons. It needs how many more?
1.
It needs 1. So, what's going to happen?
This salt is
Yeah, that salt, that electron right there is going to squeeze in. They have made what we call a chemical bond. And now they, together, are going to be like the stable group. Which is the stable group?
no.
Right. All right. Perfect. Thanks, second period.